What's up, everybody? My new album, Sailing Through Rainbows of Sound, is coming out on Sly Vinyl, on vinyl. So I got really excited, and I started going through some of the tapes that I used to record on for the whole album. I actually made that whole album on this 4-track, which was a total change because I hadn't used a 4-track since I was like a little kid. And a friend of mine, one of my good friends, John Green, passed away, and when I went to see his mom, she gave me his 4-track, which was really crazy for me because he was one of my best friends, and you know, like, he told me about this 4-track. He's like, man, I got the best 4-track that ever fucking existed. And I was like, no way. And he's like, yeah, it's a Marantz, and it sounds amazing. And so I remember him telling me about that, and when I went to his place to see his mom and she gave it to me, I was like, I have to make an album with this. So last summer, I had this crazy kind of a bunch of events happened, and I met a guy named Arthur Jolie in Brazil when I was going down there to get a lathe, which is a totally another story. But this guy is an amazing, he's become a really good friend of mine, and he makes amazing drum machines, and he made this one called the Heiko drum. So with the combination of this 4-track and this drum machine, I was like, that's it. I'm gonna make a whole album with it. And this is based off the 808, the Roland 808. And so it's basically, it's a 100% analog drum machine. And I decided, well, it's been so long since I hadn't used a computer to make music. I was like, I'm gonna keep it totally analog. And it was a really fun project because, you know, it just changed the way I thought about working, and I had to really commit to every single line instead of thinking about editing anything. But well, anyways, I wanted to show you guys. I have my song Egyptian Boogie. So there's a bunch of songs on this tape, but the one that I used on the album, I think one of my favorite ones I have here, and I just thought I might try to show you a little bit how I made it. I can't play all the instruments again, but I can kind of solo some of the tracks and explain how it was mixed and whatnot. So let's get going. I started the song with the pitch slower, and then right when the song started, it goes boop. So hopefully I can kind of nail that, just starting it off. All right, here we go. So, stopping it. So when you're hearing this is the is an actual guitar just being played in reverse. What I did is I flipped the tape over, and this is where it's like it's always a surprise whatever happens. So when you flip the tape over, everything flips on the mixer. So now my reverse guitar was on track 4. Now it's going to be on track 1. So. So what you have to do is you basically flip your tape over and you listen to it in reverse, and then you try to play along to it. And what's really cool about this is that when you're listening to it in reverse, you try to think, all right, you try to feel the groove in reverse, and you try to hear the harmonies and the changes, and then and you just jam to it, and then you flip the tape back over, and you just go and you just hear what you get. Sometimes it sounds really cool and it sounds really musical, and sometimes it's like a train wreck. But that's what's really fun about it is, and also you have to make sure that you don't record over anything that is really important, because it's really easy to do that when you're flipping the tape. Because when you flip the tape, basically track 4 becomes track 1, track 3 becomes track 2. They all become flipped. So you have to kind of keep in mind that that happens, and I've done it multiple times where I'm like, I'm going to do something, and I'd flip it and I record, and then I record it over the main part, and then pretty much ruined the recording or the song, and you're like, oh, it's so painful. But that's what's kind of fun about it, is that there's no, no mistakes, I guess. And or if there are mistakes, you try to work with it. But all right, so now I'm gonna flip the tape back. So, coming up, I have this guitar solo on track 4. What I did was, when the guitar solo is about to come in, I jammed the input, and when I recorded the guitar into it, it just created this insane distortion. And then I had this this spring reverb right here, and I run the guitar through the spring reverb, and then just exploded the input right here, and it sounded really cool. So it actually has like a pretty rad distortion if you crank the input knob on this 4-track. Whoa, shit got hectic. My doggies are bummed. So I was trying to show off my my memory RAM delay, which is it's in one of the sends. So usually when I'm mixing down, I'll use delays and sends a lot. And so I was sitting there, but I guess I had it all the way open, and it just went into some crazy feedback loop. But anyways, that was kind of exciting. Well, I hope you liked the album, and I hope this was kind of interesting, kind of weird, maybe. Well, later, guys.